Today's video is brought to you by Upstart.com. It's tough out there right now, and financially, we could all use a little help. Upstart is a fast and easy way to secure a personal loan to pay off your debt, all online. Whether you want to pay off credit cards, consolidate debts, or just need money for personal expenses, over 500,000 people have turned to Upstart. Upstart takes more than your credit score into account and finds the smartest rates with trusted partners. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rates up front on loans from $1,000 to $50,000. It's easy, and you can be approved in 24 hours, receiving your needed funds in as fast as 1 business day. Loan amounts are determined based on credit, income, and certain other criteria provided in your loan application. Be sure to use our link, upstart.com/boardfilm. Find out how Upstart can help you by clicking the link in the description.
Tonight, he makes his professional debut. He is a 2-time Olympic gold medal champion from Odessa, Ukraine. Dami Gospoda, Vasyl Lomachenko.
He believes he has supreme confidence, doesn't believe anyone can beat him. When you win 2 gold medals in the Olympics and you only lose 1 out of 400 amateur fights, guess what? It breeds confidence.
Arguably the greatest amateur fighter ever, Loma's pro debut was highly anticipated.
And Ramirez is already down on one knee as the result of a right-hand body shot by Lomachenko.
Typically, a fighter with potential will rev their career up over time. Vasyl wanted no part of that.
5-punch combination jump, something you very rarely see nowadays.
396 amateur fights, of which he won 395.
Oh, good shot.
Another amazing combination.
Good body shot.
Oh, another body shot knocked down. And Russell Moore is going to wave it off.
Ramirez went halfway across the world.
Lomachenko.
I had Lomachenko in my top 10 pound for pound when he had 1 pro fight. And people were, what are you doing? How could you do that? Well, give it some time. Maybe you'll figure it out.
Vasyli's parents are the source of his strength. His mother was a gymnast, his father a boxing trainer.
Loma was trained by his father since the time he was a literal baby.
I started training when I was 4 years old.
Yeah, he's #1. He's the best. And I think his father is the best, too.
Oh, that's him doing some sambo.
Competing in a plethora of sports, Vasyl excelled in almost any athletic undertaking.
Football, swimming, not football, soccer. Soccer, dancing.
You know the story where his father made him do traditional Russian dancing and just made him learn that for footwork. It seems like his dad was just a mastermind architect of a champion.
The Matrix is everywhere.
He entered the professional arena, ready and able to contend for a title.
When he was 6, 7 years old, his father insisted on 4 years of Ukrainian dance.
And in just his 2nd pro fight, he took his first shot.
When you look at Lomachenko, you see exactly why this highly decorated amateur believes he can pull it off.
You know, he had that amazing experience of 12 rounds against Orlando Salido, who came in overweight and outweighed him by maybe 20 pounds. And Salido fought a very rough and probably dirty fight.
For the vacant WBO Featherweight Championship of the World.
Round 1.
The fight was a difficult one for the Green Vasyl.
Facing a seasoned champion in just his 2nd fight. It began with Vasyl dominating the action.
397 amateur fights, 396 of them wins.
And the one loss was avenged.
but it quickly devolved into repeated low blows from Orlando. Roy Jones Jr. commentated on it all night.
Repeatedly, this kid threw low blow after low blow right there. Every time you see him let low blow, you'll see Lomachenko dip and go down like right there.
After the fight, it was counted that Orlando used 41 strikes below the belt. He was not docked a single point.
There are some shots that Cole has to know are low that he's just missing.
He's just a dreadful referee. Referee big fights and somehow miss what most other people in the arena can clearly see.
Fouled Lomachenko 100 times, and I don't even think that's hyperbole, and was lucky that he held on.
To the winner by split decision, Orlando City Salido.
He wasn't quite mentally ready for a tough, rugged guy that was going to take him 12 rounds and was going to cheat a little bit.
But the experience would ultimately be a good one for Vasyl, an experience he credits with preparing him for the tactics of inferior fighters in the future.
As an amateur, Vasyl racked up an otherworldly record of 396 wins to just 1 loss. Vasyl is on the short list of 2-time gold medalists.
That's exactly what you see. You don't often find a guy who can win 2 gold medals consecutively back-to-back in the Olympics. That's like having a LeBron James and a Kobe Bryant come through all in
his
one.
third fight, Loma would take on Gary Russell Jr., who was unblemished in 24 pro fights.
2-time Olympic gold medalist, introducing Vasyl Lomachenko. And his opponent across the ring on my left, introducing the undefeated Mr. Gary Russell Jr.
I think it's going to be a lot easier than what people think. He only had 2 fights. You know, so we're definitely going to expose him on that. We got some tricks up our sleeve that we don't think he's ready for.
I thought Gary Russell Jr. was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He fought Lomachenko, and I was like, who's this Russian dude? I didn't even know he was Ukrainian. Never heard of him. He took Russell apart.
Let's watch again, in real time.
For him to be able to compete for a world title in only 2 fights, it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. You can't take away from the laws of gravity. You know, if you jump up, you got to come down.
He outclassed Russell from start to finish.
He gets inside, he steps around, he gets underneath the arms. He's never standing still, even if he's working in the pocket.
Holding Russell's punches landed to a paltry 10%.
Most dominant round for either fighter this round so far.
Really fast fighter, and Lomachenko completely outclassed him.
Now Lomachenko going upstairs with that left uppercut. Action picking up here now, under 30 seconds left.
Handing the previously unbeaten fighter his first loss.
Lomachenko imposing his will and skill on Gary Russell Jr. Terrific performance for Lomachenko. They certainly believe that history has been equal here tonight, Albertstein.
Vasyl Lomachenko going up against Gary Russell and winning a world title and just his 3rd fight. His 3rd fight out.
Anatoly is a genius. I mean, he really is a mastermind with tactics.
Loma's training is a scientific process, unorthodox yet unquestionably effective, reminiscent to the approach Evander Holyfield took with his training.
He started him very young. He had a process that he was going to put him through all the way through.
Yeah.
Dad's a mad scientist.
Yeah.
To increase his stamina, Vasyl practices holding his breath underwater for as long as he can.
His record is 4.5 minutes.
My record was 4 minutes 30 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
His father is really a mastermind when it comes to boxing.
In your training, get ready for a 12-round fight. Instead, you spar 15 rounds. And instead of 3-minute rounds, you do 4-minute rounds.
4 minutes rounds.
Instead of a minute rest, you use 30-second rounds.
Yeah.
In his fourth fight, Loma fought the Asia-Pacific champ,
who had an incredible record of 51 wins and only 1 defeat.
And here's Lomachenko, regarded by many as the greatest amateur fighter of all time. 1 loss as an amateur, that loss twice avenged. Bottom line, he's the most precocious fighter of this age with this background ever to have appeared in the sport.
The challenger is the WBO Asia Pacific champion.
#1 contender in the sanctioning body. Lomachenko told his people, I want to fight one of the other belt holders. They said none of them are available. He said, then get me the #1 contender.
Roy Jones Jr. was amazed at the way the young Vasyl navigated the ring.
I have touched the ropes. He made a 3/4 of a circle, maybe a 360 even, around the ring without his back ever touching the ropes.
Combination throwing pressure fighter. He's a power punching pot shotter, and then all of a sudden he's a fleet-footed escape artist.
First time in 53 fights that O'Brien Pena has been on the canvas.
And that's the first time in 53 fights that he's seen Vasyl Lomachenko.
Even by special fighter standards, you're watching something special.
A true exhibition of greatness.
His hands move fast, his reaction and reflexes are super quick.
All to the winner by unanimous decision, and still WBO World Champion Vasyl Lomachenko.
The edict from Loma was clear. He was only interested in fighting meaningful fights. No record padding for him.
Nobody can help but be impressed by how Loma fights, by the technical skill that he has, and we haven't seen that maybe since the first young Ali.
Loma is a nightmare of frustration. This explains the abnormal amount of cheap shots Loma's opponents deliver. Time and again.
Lomachenko is just genetically like he's laced with fast twitch muscles.
It's breathtaking for guys like us who have been around the ring for a long time.
It is a thing of beauty, and that's why he's already cracked my top 5 pound-for-pound list.
You know, the guy who does it the best today about cutting angles and being right in front of you, can't him, is Lomachenko.
You could throw a punch, and that punch could be in midair, and he's spinning, and he's already behind you.
Get Lomachenko out.
Another fast combination.
And then he's over here, and then he's punching you in the face. And Lomachenko stands right in front of you, and then he's not.
I've never seen someone avoid punches and counter punch and switch. Like, he does some amazing things. I'm thinking, I've been boxing for a long time. I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, how do you practice that?
His fluidity and ability to dance around the ring help him to be in the right place at the right time. Every time.
And Rodriguez is down for the second time.
6, 7, 8, 9.
He is the winner by way of knockout. He is still the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Vasyl Lomachenko.
What
what's fascinating to me is in your training that you post online, I see on the countdown videos. I mean, who comes up with this stuff? Is it your father? You're doing the reaction drills?
This is special exercises for mind flexibility. You need to switch from muscle work to intelligence work.
Loma also trains in skating, juggling, tennis, and gymnastics.
Traditional boxing exercises are alternated with non-standard methods.
Anything that may aid in some way to his boxing repertoire.
All my boxing life, he gave me special exercises. I do not boxing exercises.
Yeah, unconventional, different.
Yeah, his training regimen is pretty brutal, and they said it was just crazy, the hours that he puts in, how he trains, how hard he trains, and some of the drills that he does.
The way he's so agile with the stepping of his feet. It's like, I think a lot of people are going to learn and mirror that.
His footwork cuts off all avenues of attack.
He moves so well. That's just flashes of what Lomachenko can do.
He walks his opponents down, but not in a brutish fashion. Instead, he enters the pocket safely.
Lomachenko definitely the aggressor.
Lomachenko's defense too is superior because he's just moving with every punch, like he sees it coming and he's already moving.
An aggressive counterpuncher who swarms and often overwhelms opponents.
He does everything technically so well.
Observe Loma redirecting his opponents.
Almost like fencing. The best way to describe Loma's style is textbook.
Look at this guy. Hand speed.
Well, it's like he's punching and he's already moving before the punch lands, so he's not there anymore for the counter.
Lines up, lets it go. Should be able to get up at 8 if he wants to.
6.
He spits up the mouthpiece.
I think he's done.
8. 9.
Yeah, he is. It's all over.
Very smart.
In his 7th professional fight, Loma moved up in weight to face off with the junior lightweight champion, Rocky Martinez, in Madison Square Garden.
For the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship. See that? That 2 punches. Lomachenko catches him with a combination. Oh, straight left hand by Lomachenko on the button right before the bell. That's it. What a performance and a cartwheel and a backslip to boot. Lomachenko.
We just saw history. We just saw history tonight.
What a performance. And you're right, Christina. 2-time world champion in 7 professional fights.
Became a 2-weight division world champion in only his 7th pro fight, winning the junior lightweight world title.
You're a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and 2 division champion.
Why is he so effective in the ring?
Oh, there's so many reasons. Well, I'll start with technique. His technique is impeccable.
In his next fight, Loma would take on an undefeated champion, Nicholas Walters.
Nicholas Axman
Only a special fighter and a special performance wins a matchup like this. They're both special tonight.
Walters was a knockout artist, a genuine star.
Makes guys keep their hands at home a lot with the small or the light offense. Then once he gets settled at home, he brings a bomb.
And Lomachenko, as he did to Gary Russell Jr., is just turning it into a boxing lesson.
Loma embarrassed him.
Dominating the fight from start to finish.
The way he seems to know exactly what he wants to do from moment to moment.
No, I don't want that. No. Bear. No. Don't want to continue. No. Okay.
They're stopping the fight. That's astonishing.
The tradition in North American boxing is a champion would not stop fighting at that moment.
A finish that came via Walters quitting on his stool. Shades of Leonard versus Duran. No mas.
You're not supposed to quit in boxing. You know, you're not supposed to cry in baseball. You can't quit in boxing.
Ukraine's very own Vasyl Lomachenko has been recognized as the best boxer in the world.
What makes Vasyl Lomachenko the best then?
Because his style is so unorthodox. Most of the time he's southpaw, but then he switches his hands, switches his legs.
Ranked pound for pound best fighter in the world by ESPN, the Ring Magazine, and the Boxing Writers Association of America.
Lomachenko has a record that you will look at and say, wait a minute, this guy's not experienced, but he is.
Lomachenko's attempting to also become one of the greatest pros ever, and there have been very few careers that have been this good, this fast.
Another combination upstairs. Lomachenko, too much hand speed.
Loma attempted to fight any of the other belt holders in his division willing to fight him. They were all afraid.
So Loma defended his belt against Jason Sosa.
And by the way, how about the stamina?
Look at that move. Just now, 4-5 punch combination.
I can't think of anyone quite like Lomachenko. He's showing us something new.
If you look at Lomachenko, he takes those steps to the right and to the left, sort of like Mike Tyson used to do to set up his punches from the right or left.
And for the second straight fight, Loma made his opponent quit on their stool.
And now they're going to stop.
Good for Rivas. Correct call.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loma was now being dubbed No Maschenko. At this point, Loma's biggest issue was finding worthy opponents who also possessed the balls to get into the ring with him.
He says, come on, I'm going to sit right here in this neutral corner. You come to me. Look at this. Knockdown scored, antics played. Vasyl Lomachenko breaking his will with both speed, defensive prowess, every which way.
Every which way, saying that, hey, I am the best. I fear no man, not you. You can't hit me, and I can hit you.
For the third straight time, his opponent quit on his stool.
That is it. Fight is over. Mariano will take no more. TKO victory for Vasyl Lomachenko.
Lomachenko struck again, winning by way of submission.
You're fighting for the first time in the history of boxing that two-time gold medalists are getting in the ring.
Lomachenko. He dodges punches like Neo dodges bullets. Fittingly, he's been nicknamed the Matrix.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window.
Next thing I know, I'm 2 or 3 rounds into it, and I'm going, he's playing with Rigondeaux.
Yeah.
Playing with him. I'm going, how?
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
But it's all set up by his feet. Look at his feet.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
He is the Matrix with his angles.
The other title holders were understandably less than enthusiastic about being dismantled in the Matrix.
Undefeated world champion, and he's toying with him.
He is the one.
He is saying I don't want any more. God. Are you kidding me? The undefeated number 7 pound-for-pound fighter is not coming out to continue against Loma.
Another opponent quitting on his stool, submitting to the will of Lomachenko.
Yeah, I'm giving a new name to Lomachenko. Lomachenko. There it is.
That's the fight that really sold me on Lomachenko, that he's that good.
11 fights in, he wins his 3rd world title. What in the f***?
From 130 pounds to 135, from junior lightweight to lightweight.
Loma would move up in weight again to face off with the lightweight world champion, Jorge Linares.
I was wondering whether Vasyl had bitten off more than he could chew.
Now it's time to see who's the best fighter in the world is now.
Linares and Lomachenko, round number 1 for the lightweight title.
In a quest to secure his 3rd title in yet another division, Linares was considered the number 1 lightweight in the world. A real challenge for the Matrix.
The fight was a back-and-forth affair early.
Good combination from Lomachenko. Touched him to the body and then split the guard upstairs.
Loma was the more skilled, but Jorge had a large size and power advantage.
Yes. The smaller man wants to be in. And there really is quite a size difference. You can just see it.
Then, in the 6th round, Loma got caught.
Lomachenko goes down! What a turn!
He was fine right away. And like I said, he showed another dimension.
A right hand from Linares floors the pound-for-pound best.
For the first time in his career, Loma was knocked down.
The momentum switched, and Linares went on the attack.
Swing back towards Lomachenko.
But Loma persevered, delivering a lethal combination that culminated with a devastating body shot.
Lomachenko, the fastest in history to become a 3-division world champ.
The win shattered the record for the fewest fights needed to secure titles in 3 divisions.
There was no resting on his laurels after winning his 3rd title. Instead, Loma aimed to unify the lightweight belts against Jose Pedraza.
He faded second half. You cannot fade against the Matrix, Lomachenko.
There's a left hand from Lomachenko. Walks in with a lead left hand that time against Pedraza.
That's exactly what I was talking about from the first round. He knocks down the jab of Pedraza and throws a straight left hand down the middle.
The fight was mostly one-sided. Loma landed an incredible 46%. of his 345 power punches.
Good uppercut from Loma. 42 power punches landed in that 11th round. Takes that angle and scores with a massive uppercut. And down goes Pedraza. 7, 8. What a dominating performance here. He survives the round, but Lomachenko was absolutely sensational.
He is now the unified WBA and WBO lightweight champion of the world, Vasyl Lomachenko.
But this is levels above. This is one of the great fighters of the last 10, 20 years in Lomachenko, who just seems to be getting stronger and better, and he wants more.
Loma destroyed Anthony Corolla.
Boom, perfect timing.
Inside the first minute of the fourth, that is definitively the end of the fight. And Vasyl Lomachenko proves his utter class in dismantling the brave Anthony Corolla, who needs some time here.
You know, 4 belts, it means you are the best in your weight classes, the best. You are one world champion, not 4 world champion. You won.
In his next outing, Lomachenko captured his 3rd belt in his 4th weight class.
How good is Lomachenko?
I think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Campbell was a much larger fighter than Loma.
Lomachenko's a guy who moved up from featherweight, so most people now are going to be the naturally bigger guy.
Lomachenko doesn't move, he glides.
It's so smooth, man.
Yeah. That's that ballet coming through. It's true.
It's something to watch, man. It's just the ability to move and also to anticipate the other fighter's movement. This guy is the wizard of footwork. It's crazy because he's like right in front of you, but he's one step ahead of you at every turn.
Loma was sharp.
He dictated the action, staying aggressive, landing cursing body shots, chopping away at the much larger fighter.
He wants to be matched only with the best.
Vasyl Lomachenko is considered by most boxing experts to be the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet. How high he climbs on the all-time list will be one of the biggest stories in boxing over the next several years. Vasyl Lomachenko, the Matrix.
Vasyl would set aim on becoming the undisputed champion.
It's Loma, it's winner take all, let's do this.
In a battle with Teo Lopez, a chance for greatness laid before the Ukrainian hero.
If you're Teofimo, you know that Loma loves to fight with rhythm. He loves to conduct the orchestra of his fights.
Lopez came out fast, securing the early rounds with ease.
Well, he got to throw some punches if he gonna take some steam off a fighter.
Loma seems stuck in neutral.
He did that until he was 13, didn't box. Why? Because Papachenko wanted him to have the best footwork on earth. And Andre Ward's card has it 59-55 Lopez. And now you see more of the movement that he's known for. But will it turn into offense?
He kept Lomachenko honest with his jab, body shots, and the threat of a big right hand.
And you see it again. He steps with him.
Trying to work his way in with the jab and a good offensive surge from Teofimo. It's now 5 rounds apiece according to Andre Ward. Final 10 seconds to take it home. Power surge by Teofimo Lopez in the 12th round.
The undisputed lightweight champion of the world, the takeover, Teofimo
Lopez won on points, and to the world, it seemed like Loma may be yesterday's news.
Rounds 1, 3 through 6, and 12 were definitely Lopez. That's 6 rounds.
Loma would need to reassert himself as a force in the lightweight division. A statement fight against Masayoshi Nakatani. Nakatani had 6 inches on Loma.
I see Lomachenko trying to remind Nakatani and the fans why he is who we've always said that he was.
Clash of heads. So a gash opens up with a minute left here in round 1 on that clash of heads.
The Matrix returned to dominant form.
Good head movement and then coming back with the left hand.
Despite the height difference, Loma moved into range at will, using his immaculate footwork to probe and secure opportune angles. He thrashed Nakatani.
Even that move right there, Loma.
That Matrix rhythm.
Purpose-minded Lomachenko.
Putting him down in the 5th.
And down! Knockdown scored by Loma.
He rose, only to get pasted again and again.
Lomachenko has hurt him here in round 6.
Back on track to reclaim his place atop the division.
Oh, what a shot that was! Nakatani stood up to it.
The shellacking continued.
Let's see Loma close the show. Can he do it right here?
Until Nakatani collapsed in the 9th.
That hurt Nakatani.
Sweeping left hand. It is over. Loma is back. Vintage form. Vasyl Lomachenko.
Vintage Lomachenko.
They are loving it here too.
The Matrix is still one of the most exciting draws in all of boxing.
Vasyl Lomachenko! Vasyl Lomachenko.
Nobody brings it home like Joe.
Nobody. Make it so.